And it is Friday, therefore it is obviously stories for children, children of all ages, children in the World Storytelling Cafe go right up to 105 years old. And we have with us tonight the wonderful Masako Carey. We've been just talking pronunciations, and I had the Irish pronunciation in my head, and then I just got some kind of mid-Atlantic nonsense. And we're really looking forward to what's happening this evening. So, Masako, over to you. Could you tell us some stories? Is Louis with us yet? I can't see. I'm on my phone.
I don't think so. Let me look.
We have a Year 9 Primary 2019, which isn't normally Louis, is it?
No, but that's okay. But right now, Masako Carey, would you care to tell us some stories?
Oh, yes. Thank you for introducing me, John. My name is Masako Carey, as John has pronounced it right. I'm originally from Tokyo, Japan, but now I live in Northern Ireland. I wonder if you know which country that is. It's actually part of United Kingdom, but right above the Republic of Ireland. And I live in the countryside, surrounded by lots of green. And because of that, my Wi-Fi could be a bit dodgy. So if it goes a bit wobbly, I'm sorry. And I have a dog. Hopefully he will stay quiet. If he starts barking, I am sorry for that as well. But today I would like to share some Japanese stories with you. So I wonder if any of you have ever been to Japan before. No one? No one? Oh, Phil, you have been to... But no, we were just saying hello. Well, if you go to Japan, you will notice there are lots and lots of temples and shrines. It's actually coming down with it if you count the mini shrines in the corner of the street. And some shrines, they worship nature gods like mountains and rivers and strange looking rocks, but also animals. And for example, I wonder if you know which animal this is. Wong wong. Do you know what that is? Any idea, anybody?
Dog.
Oh?
Dog.
Bing bong, bing bong. It's a dog. In Japan, dogs bark wong wong. And then also, what about which is
snake?
Snake, very good. And even a dragon. So my first story is related to this dragon god, Ryujin-sama. Now, Japanese traditional stories usually start with the word mukashi mukashi, and that means long time ago. So I will say mukashi, and you don't have to unmute, you can just say it in your room, and would you say mukashi back to me? And we'll start the first story. So mukashi, long time ago, there was an old man. He lived up in a mountain by himself. His job was to cut wood and sell it to the people in the village. So in the morning, he put all his wood on his back and set off. He had to watch where he put his foot because it was quite steep and the rocks and roots were coming out. And then he had to go through this narrow bridge, and every step he took, it swayed side to side. Oh, takai, it's really high. And he had to hold on to it tight. And after that, he still had to walk some more. So the village was quite far away. Makiwailan ka ne? Anyone want wood? Makiwailan ka ne? For some reason, the old man could not sell any wood at all this day. So at the end of the day, he needed to carry everything back home. So by the time he got to the bridge, the old man was exhausted and he needed to take a break. And then he sat down, and beside him was a mini shrine of dragon god Ryujin-sama. And he looked at it and he thought, maybe I'll give my word to Ryujin-sama. At least somebody's getting something good. So the old man, he took all his word to the middle of the bridge, and there, he dropped them all into the water. And now the old man's back is light, but also his heart was light because he felt like he did something good. And he was just going to go home and then notice that the water started to swirl and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Came out a woman, a beautiful woman with a boy in her hand. And she said, "Thank you for your gift. My lord, the dragon god Ryujin-sama is so pleased. He would like to give you a reward. This is Snotty Boy, and he can make your wish come true. But just one thing, you must feed him shrimp paste every day." And with that, she went back right into the water, leaving this snotty boy behind with his big green snot coming out from his nose. And oh man, look at him, he held him, but a bit far away from him so he wouldn't get that green snot on his clothes, and then went back home, or rather a shack. It was old and small place. And then once he was inside, he looked for his zabuton, which is a square mat to sit on, but his was so old and been sat on so many times it was like this then. But he found it and took the dust off and put it on tatami mat. He put the snotty boy on top of it, and then he thought, I need to get shrimp paste, but I don't have any money. So the old man, he went to Snotty Boy, and he said to him, Snotty Boy, you see, I want to get you some shrimp paste, but I don't have any money. Do you think you can get me some money? And then the Snotty Boy went 3 times. The money appeared. The old man grabbed the money and he ran to the bridge, and then he got this, that, whatever he wanted, and he had fabulous dinner. Now next day, the old man went to Snotty Boy and he said, Snotty Boy, you see this house? It's very small and old, and I'm wondering, do you think you can get me a nice new house? So the Snotty Boy went, and you can all join me if you like, but don't be getting the real one out, just sound. So ready, it's 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3 times. The house turned into a gorgeous mansion. The following day, the old man went to Snotty Boy again, and then this time he said, Snotty Boy, you see this house you got me? It's wonderful, but it's a bit too big for me to look after it by myself. Do you think you can give me some servants and maybe a chef? So Snotty Boy went 3 times, the servants and the chef appeared. So from then on, it was Snotty Boy this, Snotty Boy that, and in no time, Old Man had everything he needed, and his life changed. As he got richer, people wanted to be his friend, and he was called here and there, but no matter how far away he was or how busy he was, he had to come home to feed Snotty Boy the shrimp paste. So this day he came back and, my daughter, here you go. And thinking to himself, only if I don't have to do this. And a few days later, the old man went to Snotty Boy. And he said, Snotty boy, snotty boy. You see, what you got me here is really nice, but I got everything I need, and I don't really need your service anymore. Maybe you can go back where you came from. The snotty boy looked so sad, but he stood up and walked out the door. Oh, thank goodness, thought the old man. And then next second, the biggest snot sound ever, and everything went back the way it was. The old man was in his old hat, sitting on his old zabuton. What have I done? He ran outside and he called for Snotty Boy, Snotty Boy, Snotty Boy. But Snotty Boy was nowhere to be seen. So after all, old man's life didn't change that much. Or she might be. So that's my
Fantastic.
first story. And thank you for your cooperation with the snotty. So my next story is, see what I'm wearing here and what behind me. This is Japanese national costume. And I wonder if anybody knows what it's called. I see Luis there. Hello, Luis. And is this, do you know what it's called, Luis? Oh, kimono, I read your lips. You say kimono, very good. That's what it is. So, see, this is kimono. And my mother, not this one, but my mother gave me her kimono to me, what she was wearing when she was younger. And she's actually much shorter than I and plumpier than I, but I can still wear it because, like, this kimono is made in very simple style. So what holds kimono is actually obi. Obis are like this. I got one on myself here, the big one. This is thin one. Depends on what type of kimono. So if it's casual kimono, people tend to wear thin type, and then if this is long sleeve proper kimono, then you wear thick type. So my next story is related to this obi, the belt that holds kimono. Now I wonder, do you remember the beginning of the story? We say, mukashi, mukashi. Long time ago, there was a little temple. It was right beside a huge mountain. And there lived the abbot and a little monk. And one day, little monk was cleaning up the yard, and came the abbot with his soft, kind eyes. He said to the little monk, little monk, little monk, now it's a good time to get chestnut. Why don't you go to the mountain and get some? Hi, answered the little monk. Ah, but just a moment. And then the abbot gave him this. These are lucky charms. You take this with you, just in case. Hi, answered the little monk, and he put these into his obi, the belt. And off he went with it, carrying a huge basket with him. Once he got to the mountain, there were chestnuts everywhere. Ah, the abbot was right. So he started to pick them, and this little monk was a hard-working little monk. And then because he worked so hard, when he noticed it was getting dark, I'm not going to be able to go back to the temple. And he wanted to cry. But then a beautiful woman walked by with a lantern. What's wrong with you, little monk? I work too hard and I can't go back. Oh, don't worry. Why don't you come to my place? Sure, you can go back home tomorrow morning. Really? Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. So, little monk followed this beautiful woman to her house. She gave him food and put him into nice soft futon. Little monk fell asleep. Shh, shh. What's that sound? The strange sound woke him up. Shh. It seems to be coming from another room. So he went over and opened up the sliding door a bit and looked in. And and there was Yamamba, a mountain witch. It had a huge gangly brown hair and the goggly golden eyes and fan coming out. That beautiful woman was a disguise. Oh, what I'm gonna do? And then Yamamba was sharpening the knife and saying, that little monk looked very tasty. And then little monk was wondering, what I'm gonna do. And then that second, the Yamamba looked at him and said, you saw me, she said. And then she used her magic power, and the obi that was lying about, it moved like a big snake and went to the little monk, and it wrapped him from head to toe. And little monk couldn't move. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? But this little monk was a very clever little monk, and he thought, I need to go to toilet. What? I need to go to toilet. I really need to go to toilet. So Yamamba took him to the toilet. And once the little monk was inside, he took off that obi and wrapped it around the pillar inside. And he took out one of this lucky charm and he placed it inside the obi and said, answer when asked instead of me. And then he crawled out from the tiny window and he started to run for his life. And then meanwhile, Yamamba, who was outside, said, are you done yet? Not yet, answered the lucky charm. After a while, the Yamamba asked again, are you done yet? Not yet, answered the lucky charm. Huh? Something is strange, she thought, and she went in and found out he was gone. And she started to chase after him. And my goodness, can she run fast? Oh, and then the little monk saw her coming after him. And he took out another lucky charm and he said, big water, come out. And he threw it to Yamamba and came out a huge lake that you cannot see from side to side. But Yamamba said, I can gulp this up in one go. And she swallowed it all up. And then she started to chase after the little monk again. And the little monk saw her coming up close. So he took out the last lucky charm and he said, big fire, come out. And he threw it to the Yamamba again. And came out the huge fire that you cannot see from side to side. But Yamamba said, I can blow this out in one go. And she and turned the fire out. Now, little monk finally got back to the temple. The Yamamba, help me, the Yamamba's gonna come and kill me and eat me. Why don't you go and hide back there, said the abbot. And once the little monk was gone, the abbot stood up and went and got a stove with already some charcoal burning. And then he took out a mochi. It's a sticky rice, but when it's hard, you got it. When it's or as it is hard, but when you heat it up, it becomes soft and tasty. So he placed that on top of the fire, and he started to cook. And soon enough, Yamamba came. Where is that little monk? Give him to me. Maybe if you impress me with your magic, I might give him to you. What do you want me to do then? Let's see. Can you make yourself really small, like a bean? Sure, it's too difficult. Oh, no. It's not difficult for me. So Yamamba, she started to make herself small to a tiny bean. And then the monk or the abbot, he got the mochi, cooked mochi, picked up the bean, Yamamba, placed it in the mochi, rolled it, and he ate it. So that was the end of Yamamba, and that was the end of the story of 3 Lucky Charms. おしまい. Very good. So my next story is I would like you all to close your eyes. I hope this sound goes through. I want to take you somewhere in Japan. Eye closed, no peeking. It's a Japanese ocean side. The sand is much darker. It's near black gray. And ocean is more darker blue. Very quiet and beautiful. Mukashi, long time ago, in a little village by the ocean, lived a young man. His name was Urashima Taro Urashima. He was a fisherman. So one morning he was on his way to his boat, walking on the beach. And then he heard some commotion. Some little children were gathering up in circle. Curious, he went over and saw that, こっち向けよ. And come on, turn around. The little children were bullying a little turtle. Hurrah! Do not bully small creatures. The children scattered away. Taro knelt down and he picked up the little turtle and took it to the edge of the water and gently placed it into the water. Don't get caught again. And off he went to his work. A few days later, Taro was, as usual, walking on the beach to his boat. And this time he met another turtle, but this turtle was huge. And I mean humongous. And not only that, it started to speak to him. Thank you for saving my little boy. My master would like to thank you. Please come with me. Go with this big turtle. He thought about it, but he was so curious he decided to go along. So he hopped on to the back of this huge turtle and went under the water. Now when you go underwater, can you see things without goggles? Not really. But Taro could see no problem. And when you go underwater more so, can you breathe? Not really, but Taro had no problem breathing. And he looked around and he looked up, and the surface of the ocean was sun shining and shimmering. It looked like it was thousands, millions of diamonds. And then he looked down, and there were corals, and green, red, and orange, yellow, and little fish. You know the fish, the orange, black, and white. What do you call those? That was on Disney. The clownfish was going in and out. And then on the other side, there was some huge creature with two scissors and walking sideways. Does anybody know what that is? I wonder. I walk sideways and the color is red. Yes, Papa see.
Crabs.
Bingo, bingo! The crab was there. And then on the other side was a school of little fish moving together, making a ball and shape. And the underwater world was beautiful. And eventually they arrived to a magnificent dragon castle, Ryugujo. Thank you for saving my little turtle. My name is Princess Otto. Please enjoy your stay here as long as you wish. The banquet started for Urashima-taro. Oh, the food and drink was so good. And then the dance by Flounder. You know, Flounder is a flat fish at the bottom of the ocean. That was funny. And even funnier was the squid dancing together. Oh, Taro was having such a good time. And time passed, and before he knew it, 3 years has passed. And then one day he thought of his parents, and he got this urge of wanting to go back home. Oh, please don't go, please, asked Princess Otto, but she could not change his mind. So she said, this is tamatebako. It's a box, special box. If you hold on to this, you can come back to Ryugu Castle. But no matter what, you may not open this in human world. And Taro agreed, and he took the box with him and hopped onto the back of the turtle and went back home. Saying goodbye to Turtle, and he turned to his land, but he thought, the landscape looks a bit different. And he walked to the village, but the structure of the houses were different. He didn't recognize anybody in it. And he walked to his house, or rather where his house used to be. You see, it was just ruin. Some stones, grass growing. An old man walked by and he stopped and, excuse me, do you know what happened to this house? The house? Well, as long as I can remember, nobody lived in it. Taro walked to an ancient graveyard, and there he found his mother's tombstone, his father's tombstone, and Taro's tombstone. But it was odd because it looked so old with moss growing and hard to read the carvings. And well, in Ryugu Castle underwater, it was only 3 years, but up in the human world, 300 years has passed. And distraught, upset, Taro walked down to the beach, and he forgot the promise he made with Princess Otto, and he opened up the box. Came out the smoke. uncovered Taro. And his hair turned gray. He got wrinkles all over, long white beard. Taro turned into a very, very old man. Now nobody knows where Taro is now, but some said he has gained an eternal life, and he still lives near where he used to live, longing for his old life and longing for the life he had in Ryugu Castle. Ashimai. Okay. So, I have more time than I thought, so I'll tell some more. Let's see, what shall I tell? Another story I can tell is, I don't know, just a moment. Oh, I need to get something. Excuse me. Now, I wonder if you know what in Japanese stories we have baddies, and usually they're called oni. It's translated quite often as a demon, but it's more like a mixture of demon and ogre. Like, the ogre in Disney movie, what was the name of that movie? The Shrek? So imagine the Shrek and demon combined together is what they are like. And they sort of are baddies, and they would come to you and they can take away your food, they can take away your treasure, they can take away people, sometimes to make woman as their wife, but sometimes to eat them. And also, Oni can be very close to you. When I was a child, my mom would say, "Oh, Masako, cover your belly because this Kaminari Oni, the thunder Oni, is gonna come and eat your bellies." You see, the Japanese people tend to have a weak stomach, so mother will use all sorts of reasons to keep their belly warm. So that I would say, but as a child, I remember, I need to cover, or the Oni's gonna come and eat my belly. So, and another type of oni is sometimes happens at home when, for example, daddy promised to come home early and he didn't come home early, and then mommy turned into oni. So that's another type of oni. But the oni I am going to talk about today look like this. Ding. So this is sort of a typical Japanese oni comes into traditional stories. And they usually have 1 or 2 horns and bushy hair, dark hair and color. Colors could be varied, but red or blue is quite common. And they usually have top naked, maybe showing off their muscles. And they usually wear tiger skin pants. And then another thing, they have fangs and they're very strong. I see this weapon is called kanabo. It's actually like a big baseball bat, except it's made out of iron and with the sharp studs coming out. With the power of Oni, this was a very dangerous weapon. So my next story is related to this bad Oni. So, long time ago, there was an elderly couple, and they always wanted to have a child. And they prayed to God every day, "Please give us a child, please, please, please." And one day, their wish came true. They were gifted with this beautiful baby boy. But just one thing was, this baby boy was very small. But they loved this boy nevertheless. And they cared for him and nurtured him, and he grew up to be a very nice man. Just tiny. But one day he sat across from his parents and said, "Mother, Father, I would like to go to the city and work for the Lord for the good of the people." Now parents named this boy Isumboshi, which means an inch boy. "Oh, Isumboshi, we will miss you so much, but it's a good for the people. Go on ahead," they said. And father, he went and got a wooden bowl as his boat. And do you know what this is called?
Chopsticks. I eat with them all the time.
Very good. So he used one of the chopsticks as an oar. So that's what father gave. And the mother gave him a sharp needle as his sword. And they set him off into the river. Oh, and the journey to the city was an adventurous one. There was a storm came. Well, it was actually a bit of a strong wind and the rain, but for Isumboshi it was a storm. But worse than that was carp. Do you know a fish called carp? They got big mouth. Oh yes, very good, Mike got that. They got well. That's a different fish, but there was different fish was trying to eat Isumboshi, and he had to use his needle sword to fight it off. And finally got to the city. And he went up the side of the road and then came to this big stretch and stopped the passerby. "Sumimasen, excuse me, can you tell me where the big house is, the largest house of the city?" "Where is this sound coming from?" "Oh, you are so small." "Ah, largest house. Oh, see, if you keep on walking this stretch, there will be a biggest house, the Lord Sanjo's house. That would be the largest." "Arigatou gozaimasu, thank you." So Isumboshi started to walk all the way down and came to the end. And my goodness, it is the very large house as far as Isumboshi can see. It was all Lord Sanjo's wall. And in front of him was a solid oak door. And standing in front was a ferocious looking guard. "Tanamo! Tanamo!" Huh? I thought I heard something. "Tanamo! I'm down here." "Huh? Oh, you're so tiny." "I came to work for Lord Sanjo." "Oh, I see. I'll go and ask." And then Isumboshi was taken in front of Lord Sanjo. "Oh, I see. You are awfully tiny, but seems like a very fine, clever young man. I know. I will have you work for my daughter, Princess Sanjo." So from that day, Isumboshi became a servant for Princess Sanjo. Oh, she was beautiful and kind, and Princess Sanjo liked Isumboshi straight away. And she taught him how to read and write, and Isumboshi learned it in no time. Now one day, Princess Sanjo, she had to pay a visit to Kiyomizu Temple. So she took some guards and Isumboshi with her. And on the way back, gaza, 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 sound came from the bush. "Who goes there?" came out the red, huge Oni. "Ah, oh, pretty princess, I shall make you my wife," he said, and started to walk towards Princess. "Save the princess!" The guards charged at Oni, but whoosh, whoosh, with one blow they were thrown to side. There was no one left to save Princess. "Now come with me, Princess." And "Don't touch Princess!" the sound came. Huh? Where is this sound coming from? Thought Oni, and then there was Isumboshi on top of Princess Sanjo's shoulder shouting, "Don't touch Princess!" Oni looked at it and said, "Ha ha ha! You are so tiny! What can I do? Ha ha ha!" The Oni was laughing so loud, so his mouth was wide open, and Isumboshi, whoo, jumped right into it. Well, that saved the trouble. But then next second, the Oni started to roll in pain. Hey, yeah, you want more? Hey, it was Isenboshi. He was poking Oni from inside. Ouch. Please come out, please come out. Oh, I'm sorry, ごめんなさい. Oni rolled and rolled, and eventually Isenboshi came out, and Oni ran as fast as he could. Now, because he was in such a hurry, he left something valuable. And Princess Sanjo knew about it, and she picked it up. It was Uchide no Kozuchi, a magical mallet, a magical hammer. Isenboshi, this can make your wish come true. In that case, Princess Sanjo, please make me bigger. I will. So she held it and said, 大きく大きく大きくなれ. Get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then Isenboshi grew taller and became a fine young, very handsome one, if I may add. And I wonder, do you know what happened next? They got married. Of course, Baba knew. And Isenboshi called his elderly parents to the city, and they all lived happily ever after. Oshimai. So thank you, Mike, for sharing your book. So, okay, I got time for one short story. So this is actually take from a traditional Japanese storytelling that's going on for 300 years, nearly, called rakugo. So, but the real rakugo, you have to be on the stage with proper kimono on, and you use pan for the small towel for props. But I'm just going the casual style. So here we go. So mugashi, there was a man, and like the other couple, he wanted to have a child. He was rich, he had a beautiful wife, but he had no child. So he prayed to God every day, like other one, pray. And then he was blessed with this wonderful boy. And he thought, this boy is special. I need to find a special name for him. So he went to this famous temple and met the abbot and said, Abbot, for this special boy of mine, please think a very, very special name. So Abbot thought about it for a while, and then he took out his brush and then started to write and gave it to the man. The man took it and he started to read. ジュゲムジュゲム、五行のすり切れ、カイジャリ水魚の水魚松浦松、空霊のところに住むところ、やぶら工場のブラ工事、パイポシューリンガのポッポコピーのポッポコナの長期名の長期。Oh, quite a lot about. And lots of them, I don't know what the meaning is. You see. Some of them are foreign words, but all of them are good meaning for your son, so you can pick any of them. So the man looked at it and thought, oh, this sounds good. Oh, what's this meaning? And then after a good while, he said, I know what. I'm going to choose them all. Huh? Choose them all? Yes, because it's for my special son. So the time went by. Actually, 6 years went by. And the man and his wife were in the house. And the neighbor boy, Shin-chan, came in. Oh, Shin-chan came out to watch. What's wrong with you? Oh, your son hit my head and I got a big lump here. Oh, you mean my ジュゲムジュゲム五行のすり切れ、海砂利水後の水魚松浦松浦松、クーネルところに住むところやブラ工事のブラ工事、パイパパイパパイパのシュリンガシュリンガのポップキンのポップかなのチョキメの長介、hit your head? Oh, how terrible. Darling, did you hear that? I did. Oh, so しんちゃん。My son. ジュゲムジュゲム五行のすり切れ、海砂利水魚の水魚松、フラ松浦松、クーネルところに住むところやブラ工事のブラ工事、パイパパイパパイパのシュリンガシュリンガのポップキンのポップかなのチョキメの長介、hit your head? Oh, that's awful. Oh, let me touch your head. Oh, しんちゃん, I don't feel any bump here. The name is too long. It disappeared. おしまい。And that's spot on time.
If an African American woman, mother says your whole name, you're in trouble.
Oh, really?
But that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Masako, that was the most wonderful evening. Thank you. You will come back another Friday, won't you?
Oh, of course, I would love to. Thank
And
you.
we'll all meet you in person in Marrakesh.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Right now, so thank you. One more round of applause for everyone. I can't. I'll have to do a Zen one-hand clap because I'm holding the phone in the other. But thank you, thank you, Waleed, and your co-pilot, if he's still there, Kamal, for driving the magic carpet tonight. And thank you, everyone who visited us. What we got coming up? Well, obviously on Tuesday we have a young international tellers. We'll have children from Gaza. We've got from Palestine. Yasnami, the Indians will be back with us their exams are finished, so they will be back with us this week, and hopefully Nigeria will be back. So we should have a really good young international tellers. Babasi is probably running it if I can't get there, if I can't get internet where I am. But I hope to be there because it sounds like an exciting week. Who have we got next Friday? We're going to Mumbai on next Friday for Usha Venkatraman, and who runs the Mumbai Storytelling Festival, which is telling stories for children next Friday. And that's and then after that will be our worldwide story round. So we've got an exciting few weeks coming up, and eventually we'll have Babasi on. What dates are you on, Babasi?
You'll have to tell me again. Oh, wait a minute. I think I can check.
I think something.
I'm checking now. I'm on in October, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's the 14th.
The 14th.
Yes.
So there's someone between. So we've got Mumbai next week. We've got Kenya the week after that. We've got someone who I can't remember after that, and then you. So we're going around the world in the next month.
You're not going to push me back again, right?
No, because you're in the schedule. If you look up, it's set in stone. You're up on the site. I've
been in the schedule twice before. I'm not complaining. I was just making a little.
No, there you go. Anyway, thank you, everybody. It's been a fantastic night, and or day or afternoon, depending on where you are in this big wide world. Masako, thank you. That was a lovely session. It was thank really, yeah. I shall have visions of little people with needles and a chopstick. Yeah. Defeating the whole world.
I think Mike was telling this story today with his picture book. He said, "Oh, how good fun!"
Yeah, Mike has entirely too many props. That's all I've got to say about that. But I was wondering, is there a correlation between the story you told and Tom Thumb? Did I get that title right, John Rowe?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories about little people.
Yeah.
And But right now, we must thank Louis. I hope you're still, if you're not still here, I hope you had a wonderful time. Fantastic. See you all some other time. And if we don't see you on screen, we'll see you in Marrakesh. Right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Willie.
Until the next time. To be continued.
Willie, yeah,
Thank you so much, Masako.
thank you.
And Mike.
Thank you for your help, Babasi.
Oh, my pleasure, my honor. You are fascinating. I could listen to you all year long. I mean, you just, yes, thank you. Thank you. Asante Sana, thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. I think John is trying to get us out of here.
Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, well, you know, Babasi's one of those people you just won't leave a party.
I can just leave now. Is that
Okay, yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Good night, folks.
Good night, good afternoon, good weekend. Thank you, Waleed.
You're welcome.
And Kamal, if you're still there.
Yeah.
You guys are becoming very good at flying the magic carpet. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think I need to go have lunch.
Yeah.
It's only only 2 p.m. on this side. So late lunch, early dinner. All right, I'm out. See you out. Until the next time, to be continued.